Hey everybody, we're going to talk about higher order derivatives in this video. So you've learned how to find first derivatives using the limit definition as well as some shortcut rules. We're going to add some more shortcuts to finding derivatives as we go. But before we get too far into those, I want to make sure you understand first derivative is not necessarily the end of the story. So we know how to do that, right? Let's do that for this problem. What is y prime or dy dx for this polynomial here? Remember, you do each term separately. For the first term, we have x to a power, so what rule do you use? Why don't you pause the video, try, take the derivative, and come back. Alright, so the first one, power rule says power down, 1 power less. Good job. Minus power down, so I'm going to multiply the 2 times the 3 and get 6 with x to 1 power less. And the derivative of a constant, well, the constant goes to 0, so it's gone. There's your first derivative. That's what we've done so far. So the question is, how do you find a second derivative, or a third derivative, or a fourth derivative? To find higher order derivatives, you simply take the derivative of the one you already have. So if this is your first derivative, the second derivative we denote by y double prime, or if you want the dy dx notation, that's d2, the second derivative of y, with respect to x, 2 times. That's how you read this notation. This notation you'll see more in like Cal 3, but we can go ahead and start using it here so you get used to it. Alright, so to find the second derivative, you just take the derivative of the first derivative. So do power rule again. 3 constant multiple stays there, so 2 times 3 is 6, x to the first, minus the derivative of x is just 1, so this is 6 times 1, or 6. Well, you have the second derivative, so the next derivative, the derivative of the second derivative, would be the third derivative. Now you can do 3 tick marks, that's okay with me. 4 tick marks we never do. We would use the notation where you put the power in parentheses, and that denotes the derivative. So this would be y to the third in parentheses means the third derivative. Or you can use the dy dx notation, but now you put d3, so the third derivative of y with respect to x, 3 times. In calculus 3, you'll actually start experiencing having different dx, you might have dx, dy, dz. That'll be fun. Instead of having dx cubed, so you might do the derivative with respect to different variables. So this notation becomes very important in that course. But for now, it's just to get used to the idea. So third derivative we get by taking the derivative of the second derivative. What is the derivative of 6x? Well, 6 just chills out. The derivative of x is 1. Well, 1 times 6 is still 6. The derivative of 6, a constant, well, that's just 0, so it's gone. Let's try a fourth derivative. And like I said, I don't usually use 4 tick marks. I just go straight to the parentheses around the power for the fourth derivative, or d4y dx to the fourth. All right? So what is the derivative of the third derivative? Well, it's a constant, so the derivative would be 0. All right, can we continue? Sure. What is the derivative of the fourth derivative? That would be the fifth derivative. So the fifth derivative of y with respect to x 5 times. Well, what is 0? 0 is just a constant. The derivative of a constant, though, that's just 0. So this is 0. So what do you think about it? If we continue along here, continue finding derivatives, what is a derivative going to be? Well, every time we're going to take the derivative of 0, so it's still going to be 0. And we'll just get 0 from here on out for all higher order derivatives, 6 or more. Okay? So that's an introduction to higher order derivatives. We're going to mostly focus on first and second derivative, mainly because in physics, that's usually where we stop our applications. First derivative being the velocity, second derivative being acceleration. You're going to see those in the next section when we start some real application problems. All right, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Study hard.